Hello everyone, welcome to episode 37 of the Lightning Round. I'm your host Lightning.
I'm the other host, AR.
And today we have a interview. I told you we'd get one.
Yes.
But yes, we are going to have an interview with Digibrony. If you haven't, he's actually been garnering a lot of popularity over the course of the last month or so.
People feel sorry for him. No,
I don't feel sorry for him at all.
No, I was saying like pity subscribe sort of thing. But anyways, that's not the issue going on.
No, not at all. He's got really good content, and so we'll talk to him about that in just a second.
Hours? I don't know.
No, it's not going to be hours.
It is hours. No. Anyway.
Other than that,
Hi.
I don't think they have any announcements that are too important. I do, for those of you that don't know this already, for the readings that are going up on my channel, On Across the Narrow is coming to an end. We'll probably be done with it within the next month or so. Immediately following that will be a reading of Yours Truly. That's a one-shot, so it'll come out in 1 week, and we'll get that one done really quickly. And then immediately following that, we'll have our reading of Allegreza, which is one of the original vinyl scratch Octavia fics that was written. So that'll be really interesting. So definitely stay tuned for that. Other than that, I don't think we have any announcements that are too pressing, so we'll go ahead and jump right in. First up this week, we have our interview. This week, we have with us Digibrony.
Hello.
I kept wanting to call him DJ.
DJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw the
Not
D
quite.
and the G. I think DJ. I don't know. It's my brain. It's weird.
Well, that'd be DG, wouldn't it?
No, not the
don't
way
know.
I read it.
DG cells.
Anyway.
It depends what kind of accent you say it with. I don't know. Moving on.
So, right, to start off, we've got a basic question that I like to ask everyone that I interview. What's your favorite pony and favorite episode?
Well, those two questions are actually very closely related. My favorite pony is Applejack, and my favorite episode is Applebuck Season.
I knew it!
I guess that would make sense then.
Nothing makes sense in this world.
Yeah. Just a gigantic
yeah.
fan of the episode in general.
Any particular reason why?
Well, if you want my reasons for the episode, I've done a video about that already, but it's quite fanboyish. Basically, I'm a big fan of anything that's really, like, episodes of the show that are really dense with things happening, and that show has a really high density of fun
Apples?
stuff. There's lots of great jokes, lots of great character development, and
Lots of apples.
also it's about sleep deprivation. And I'm a fan of sleep deprivation as a concept in general.
I think most people are nowadays. Plus, it has lots of
Yeah.
apples.
Yeah.
Lots of apples.
Right. Out of curiosity from me, do you have a most hated pony or even a nemesis?
Nah, not at all.
Oh, jerk.
Love all the ponies.
I love all of the ponies.
So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you became a brony in the first place.
Don't do it, it's a trick.
Well, I am a longtime anime fan who was blogging about anime for years and years.
Clanad
about
is the
6
best
years.
anime ever.
Clanad?
Clanad, yes.
I disagree.
What?
I dropped that show after 14 episodes.
Oh, you didn't even see the after story? I cried.
Yeah, I mean, I cried just in the first, on episode 9 of season 1, but because the presentation is really sad, you know. But I didn't really care about the characters or the story or anything. It was just the way that it was presented.
I see.
Was done in a way that really tugs at your heartstrings,
Yeah.
which is something that studio and that writer are very good at.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it from a production standpoint, but from a standpoint of actually caring about the characters, I just did not give a shit about anything
Season 2
that was
was
happening in that show.
Season 2 was very interesting, I'll say that. So moving on back on the brony things.
Yeah, so moving on to how I became a brony, I think I've talked about this before actually as well, but it's almost I realize I've made it really difficult to interview me because I put out these long ass Q&As where I answered like every question people can come up with.
You can't interview me, none shall.
But when I became a brony, it was just a matter of I found out about the show. Obviously, it was starting to take off on the internet. I hadn't seen a whole lot of people talking about it because I was pretty much only reading anime blogs and stuff like that. I don't really follow any big like sites. I don't really follow any meme sites and stuff like that. So I didn't see it popping up that much like a lot of people did. But my little brother was a big.
My little brother.
He reads Funny Junk all the time. Yeah, my little brother Shade.
It just sounded funny because My Little
15
Pony,
now.
My Little Brother. Anyway.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Terrible.
He's a big Funny Junk user, and ponies were becoming like a big deal on Funny Junk at the time. I think they're still like they have like their own section of the site or something like that.
I think they do.
And so he was big on there, and one of his friends started watching the show because of it, because he wanted to understand all the memes, and his friend liked the show, and I had actually shown him like when I first found out that some people liked it. Like, I didn't know how big of a deal it was, but I knew that everyone who was watching it was saying it was, like, really good. So I figured it probably is really good. You know, I trust people in general on their judgment. So I had heard it was really good, and I watched the first episode with Shade. I just kind of forced, like, I was in his room, and I was bored, and I just put it on to mess with him. And then we watched the first episode. The whole time he was like, why are we watching this? What the hell is this? Why are we watching My Little Pony, you know? But I was just, like, watching it. And, you know, it seemed good, but I'm not like big into like American cartoons and stuff, and it just seemed like a good American cartoon, you know, not something that I was going to go out of my way to watch.
Technically,
but
it's
then
more
once
Canadian than
once
American.
Yeah, I like to say a good American cartoon that's made in Canada.
Well, it's really half and half because it's written in America.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So they animated in Canada, and I mean Canada's practically America, but So yeah, his friend started watching it and said it was pretty good, and then so Shade also wanted to understand the memes, so he was like, I feel like we should watch it, and you know, I'm a big fan of just cultural stuff in general. I knew it was a big deal, so I was like, I'm interested. Let's watch it. You know, now that Shade wants to watch it, I have an excuse that I can go and check out what everyone's talking about. So we started watching it, and you know, it was as of like Applebuck season that I started to go, hey, this show's kind of above average, you know. And then once we got into like the mid-section where there's like great episodes like Winter Wrap-Up and you know, with the song and everything, and it's like, wow, they really go for some big stuff in this show. And then it wasn't until season 2 though when I really got into it, where it was like
when he realized he had a problem. No.
Like the first 5 episodes of season 2 are like incredible. It's
Yeah.
Return of Harmony, Lesson 0, Luna Eclipse, and Sisterhood Social, like all right in a row. And I was just like, holy shit, this just got real, you know, like they kicked it up a notch for this season. So by the time I caught up with season 2, which at the time the latest episode was Read It and Weep, and once I caught up with that, it was like, yeah, I think I might be getting into this show.
Okay. That was before I saw my first brand new episode was Derpy's episode, or the last round.
Yeah, I guess. When was this all?
Yeah, that
like,
puts you.
What part did you come in like?
Yeah, like I said, Read It and Weep it aired in February last year, so that would be episode 17 of season 2. So you were actually before me.
Oh yeah,
AR,
that's right. Okay, that was 17. I was thinking
up,
that was like 13 for some reason.
Nah, last roundup would be 15, and then that would be 17. So
Yeah.
the first episode that I actually watched on TV while it was airing was the next one, which is Hearts and Who's Day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think the first episode I ever saw live was Baby Cakes.
Oh, I came in before you two. I'm old.
That put you before both of us.
I'm an old
I think
man.
Baby Cakes was like 13 or 14 of that season. So we all came in around the same time within about
No,
about
Baby
a
Cakes
month
was like
radius of
19.
each other.
It was a bit later. So.
No, that was 13,
It was
13 if I
13?
remember correctly.
Oh, either way, you're older than me.
Yeah. I know my episode numbers.
That's what he takes note of in life. Episode. Anyways.
I stalk the because on Wikipedia, you know, they have the list of all the episode numbers and names, and I have to use that like constantly when I'm writing about the show, so I'm always looking back at it. So that's why I know all the titles and stuff so well, where, you know, for other shows I probably wouldn't know the episode names or anything.
And just to let you know that there might be questions on here that you've already answered before, but I'm just going to assume that some of the people that watch this interview haven't seen your Q&A yet.
All
so.
3 of them.
I imagine a lot of people haven't seen my Q&A because it's just too long. You know?
It's just too long.
It's like 8 hours long, so I don't blame anyone for asking me questions that are already in there, you know. But when they if you're asking me in an interview, it's like, okay, that's fine, you know. It's only bothers me when people ask me on my channel, and it's like I have a Q&A
same question like 10 times. Yeah.
Like just click two clicks over, and you'll get to it, you know. But I hope that people in my comments will tell those people, like, so I don't have to tell them myself.
Yeah.
I want to see other people, just because people who have seen my Q&A, they can then answer the questions for me.
Answer them for me, please.
That's what I hope
okay.
Do.
Well, and I do like the fact that for your Q&As, you have a list of all the questions that were asked and what point you actually answer them at. So
yeah, that was extremely important to me to do that, because I don't want people to think that they have to watch the whole 8 hours to get their question answered.
You just went and answered every question in the universe possible. Put them all into one video.
Like, you know, I put in enough work for them to where I want them to then be able to put in a little bit of work to find their answer, you know. Because if you really want your question answered, then you can at least take the time to go and click on each video and Control F and find your question, you know. You don't even have to read through all the questions. You just Control F, type in the name, you know, and you'll find it. Just type anime, and you'll go, oh, here's all the anime he likes. There's a question for it. Here's the timestamp. I don't have to wait 9 years, you know, through all these other
I didn't know 9 years was 8 hours
so,
now. When did that happen? Right. I believe we have another question. Well, actually, that is how you... Okay, yeah, you did answer that one, so... curiosity, how did you come up with your name, Digibrony? Because it's like Digimon, or...
No.
Okay.
I get that question all the time, too. It's funny, because so many people think, you know, assume Digimon.
Well,
it's funny because...
I just said it because it sounded stupid, so I said that. Anyways. As long as I sound stupid, I'm satisfied.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, a lot of people have thought it was Digimon, which is understandable, because I guess in Digimon they put Digi on the front of everything, you know,
yeah.
But the name has... It's because I've had it for, like, 6 years, and it's changed a lot over that time, and that's why it's, like, unrecognizable from what it originally was. Because it started from a song called 21st Century Digital Boy, which is by the band Bad Religion. And it's a song from... It's actually older than me. It's the song from, like, 1990. But, and I'm from 91. But the song is it's like a punk song, and I was like really into it at the time that I came up with the name, and I was just switching. Like, my old username was Tycall Ultimate, which is the name of my old YouTube channel.
I'm gonna go look that up real quick. You keep talking.
I was yeah, so Tycall Ultimate was my old YouTube channel, and it was just the name I used everywhere, and I used it up until I was about 15, and I still... Mind you, that channel is still open. I've still been posting on it for the last 6 years, but that's the only place I still use that old name, because everywhere else I changed it. And I've been going through a few different names trying to find one that would suit me, and 21st Century Digital Boy, the name of the song, was perfect, because it was like, I considered myself to like live in the moment and really be like in tune with the 21st century, because I don't really like old stuff that much. I'm more a fan of newer things. And I was always doing stuff on the computer, and I was a boy, so it was like Digital Boy. It made perfect sense, you know? It couldn't possibly fit better. So, and because I'm not a fan of just like one thing more so than other things, I like, you know, so really, I didn't want to have a name that was associated with like one show or something like that. I wanted it to be a name that could cover everything, so it's Digital Boy. And I used that name for years. Well, once I turned like 20... I decided it didn't fit anymore to be called a boy, just because boy usually implies younger, you know? It felt just kind of weird for me.
Yeah.
So I thought about, because the song 21st Century Digital Boy is actually based on an even older song called 21st Century Schizoid Man, which is by the band King Crimson. And that's an amazing song. So I thought about changing my name to Schizoid Man, but I'm not a schizoid, and I didn't feel like really a man yet, you know, per se, where man has this sort of it has this sort of societal context to it, as opposed to just being just some guy, you know. Yeah. But a lot of people had called me Digibro as a joke before, so I changed my name to Digibro once I got a little older. So I was going by Digibro, and I had only been going by that for about 2 months when I became a brony, and I figured out, Digibro,
Neat.
brony,
I
Digibrony,
get
you know?
it.
So it was like, it was just so obvious and easy, and so I at first I just did it on Twitter, because you can change your Twitter name at any time, you know?
You can?
So like, that's why my Twitter username is, my Twitter account name is 2013
I
Digibro,
didn't know you could change your
but
Twitter name.
the name, yeah, you can change it anytime.
I don't-
So, like, my account name is Digibro, but my profile name is Digibrony, and I like, so it was so easy to just tack on an NY, and at first I kind of did it as a joke just because I kept talking about My Little Pony on Twitter, and, people, because everyone who followed my Twitter was all anime fans, and none of them cared about the show, so they just thought, oh god, here goes Digibro, he's getting all into My Little Pony, so I wanted to, to kind of jab at them by putting NY at the end of my name. But then I started getting onto all these pony sites and stuff, and so I said, well, shit, if I'm going to post on pony websites, I might as well use Digibrony as my name, so...
Yes.
So really my username is still Digibro altogether, but Digibrony is what I use for pony-related content.
I see. And that is the long tail of
And,
his name.
So now, speaking of Digibrony, that's kind of like your OC, right?
Yes, the OC is also named Digibrony.
And how did you get your OC anyway? How did you come up with
You
it?
found it in the trash can.
That was drawn by Mizu Takishima, is the artist of that. She hasn't really done much pony art, but she has actually been because Digibrony, originally I made a Tumblr for Digibrony, rather than, because originally I was just doing text posts before I started doing video. She had actually been reading my text posts before I moved to video. She's like the only person who was reading my text posts. And she was she was a fan, and then when I switched to video, she also was watching those. And it was interesting because I just needed an OC because Hasbro was taking down my videos, and I was using just footage from the show, so I said I need an OC that I can put on screen. And a few people offered to make me one, and she was one of them. And I realized that she was a great artist, and I was like, not only can you draw, but you've been watching me all this time, so you would be like the perfect candidate to draw my pony. And so she did, and I'm extremely satisfied with it.
Extremely.
Yes. I mean, I gave her all the color choices, and I told her that I'm a big fan of Sweetie Belle. So I gave her all the basics, and that I wanted to be a unicorn and stuff. But the way that she did the hair and stuff is just much better than anything I could have come up with personally.
Very nice. Does she still do art for you?
Not an artist. She sometimes does me new facial expressions, or I gave her a request for one picture that I haven't used yet, but I'm going to use it in a specific video it was for a unique art style for a video. Have either of you heard of the Tumblr Ask Pinkamena Diane Pie?
I have heard about it. That is about it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a grimdark Tumblr.
It's a
that was,
Grimdark
pretty
Tumblr.
famous.
Oh, that one. I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and it has a really unique art style, and I want to do a video on it, so I got her to draw Digibrony in that art style.
Oh, wow.
That's the only time I've specifically requested her to draw something. But other than that, she's really busy, so I don't usually try to ask too much from her.
I see. Uh-huh. Oh, wait, there's another question, isn't there? I believe there is another question. I was looking at the Tumblr asking me and Diane Pie. Right. Now, what got you into making reviews and videos and whatnot? I mean, it's the whole YouTube thing. A lot of people get into it like that, but I mean, what got you into it personally?
Well, I mean, with the reviews and stuff, I've been writing analysis for about 6 years now on my anime blog. And, it was so... Moving into My Little Pony was just a natural transition from anime. And it was just... That was the show I cared about. That was what I was talking about and inspired by. So I started writing analysis of My Little Pony. What inspired me to get into video was actually separate. It was... Because last year, I basically got into MLP and video games, and I wasn't really watching anime anymore. So I was talking about MLP, and then I was talking about video games, and when I was getting into video game analysis, that's when I discovered all these awesome big-name analysts on YouTube. That's when I found out about Egoraptor, who does the sequelitis videos, and if you haven't seen those, you've got to watch the sequelitis videos.
I'm still not going to watch those
pretty
now.
much
I was going to, but then you said to watch them, so no, I'm not going to now.
No, you've got to. They're the Oh, I've watched there's only 3 videos, and I've watched each of them about 20 times,
Nice.
just because I'm such a huge fan of those videos. And there's also a guy called Campster who does video reviews. His series is called Errant Signal, and when I watched their videos, that was when I realized that like that's like what they do, especially with Egoraptor. Like at first I got into his videos, and then I slowly realized, wait a minute, this guy actually, this is how he makes a living. He does YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's insane.
That
those
is his
people
life
who do that.
You know? It's not just that I mean, that's now what I do. That's all I'm doing right now is making YouTube videos for profit.
Lucky
That's
butt.
I'm trying to become a full-time YouTuber. But Egoraptor doesn't just make money, he makes a lot of money. Like, I'm pretty sure he's making, oh god, what, I can't really calculate it. I think he's probably making like a good 200,000 a year or something, if not more. That's just my rough estimate.
Rough estimate. Very nice.
He's making a fuck ton of
There's
money.
there's a lot of
So,
people like that. Imagine what Blue Expos is making. They have a ton. Like,
I don't know who that is.
The Yogscast people.
Oh yeah, they've got to be rich
Oh, yeah.
off of that channel. You know, that's why they're able to do all those big epic projects that they'll do sometimes. You know, is because they're making like real money off of this
Yeah.
shit. So you know, when I found out about Egoraptor and stuff, I was like, what if? Because you know, I've been doing analysis for a long time, and I'm really passionate about it, and I'm good at it. You know, so and I knew that because I've been trying to become a writer for a long time, but I always thought that analysis, because the stuff I analyze is so niche, that I was never going to get popular for it, you know, that I was never going to make any money off of it, even though it's really what I like to do. So I thought it would be impossible. But then when I realized that you could make videos and people would actually watch them, and I was into video games, and I figured that because anime, there is no one doing like anime analysis and making money off of it. There's no one doing that. I don't think it's possible, because the anime sphere, everyone watches different shows, so no one can really, there's no like one show that everyone is watching it and analysis would appeal to all of them, you know, unless it was like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but I don't have a deep analysis of that show, so I can't really do that, you know. With video games, it's much more likely that more people are going to be interested in whatever game you're talking about. So it's a lot easier to get more attention for video game analysis.
It is. That's why Let's Players do so well.
And it's a more tightly knit community. Everyone knows, like, even if you haven't played every game, you usually know most of the games. You know, whereas with anime, most of the anime fans I talked to haven't seen half of not even a fifth of my favorite shows.
I probably haven't seen
most
any
people
of them.
haven't seen. Yeah. So yeah, like,
why did I raise my hand?
so even people who are hardcore anime fans haven't seen most of those. So yeah, I was like, I want to do video reviews. So I started doing video reviews of video games, but I had low quality equipment. I was recording on a Mac microphone and stuff. You can find these videos. They're called Adventure Action RPG, and I made about 5 of them. They're not bad, but you know, the quality level wasn't there. And I thought, I'm never gonna make money off of this or feel like really like I'm doing something great until I have better equipment.
I found them.
So I got a job. Yeah, I got a job so that I could fund buying equipment, and I did. I bought this awesome microphone that I'm using right now. I bought a game capture device, all kinds of stuff to make videos with. And I thought I was going to make video game videos. And then I started making MLP videos using the same equipment, because I was like, well, I have the equipment lying around. I might as well make, you know, like turn my, because I had made all these My Little Pony text posts. I thought, why not turn them into video form? And I did. And then it was way the fuck more successful than I thought it was going to be, you know? So then I got, because it was successful, I got more into it. I was like, ooh, now I really want to talk about My Little Pony, you know? And so I still plan to do more video game videos, and I still hope that those will be successful too. But the My Little Pony thing took off so much that it's just really exciting right now. You know?
It's a big thing going on.
And not to mention that, but I mean, My Little Pony, the whole Brony community is very much internet based. Therefore, anything that's on the internet that has to do with My Little Pony is going to get way more.
Well, that's not. It's not that really. It's more about video.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, my text posts, nobody was reading those.
Except for that one girl.
My Little Pony fandom is, except for her. But most My Little Pony fans don't read. Like, think about how much text stuff have you read that's not fan fiction? How much have you seen? You know, just think about it. Like I can't. I can count all of the analysis of MLP on that was not in video form. I can count it on my fingers that I've read. You know, I can name like 3 people who I know to do analytical analysis in text form, and none of them have any readers. The only site that does it regularly that has an audience is the Roundtable, and that's because they're also like a news site and stuff that happens to have these longer editorial posts. So they have a draw that isn't analysis, and then they throw in the analysis thing, you know. But just doing analysis, nobody's going to read it. There are people who do horrible analysis videos, but because it's in video form, people will watch it just
they don't
because.
Want to read.
Yeah, they just don't want to read. So even though a lot of my videos, especially the early ones, are exact copies of my text posts, just with video, they got more attention. You know,
makes sense.
That's a huge element of why my videos are so popular. It's just because I brought something that nobody else was doing in video form, even though other people are doing it in text, but no one's doing it in video except for in the same way that I'm doing it, except for me. And I did it in the highest quality possible with a nice microphone and
that fancy
and good
stuff.
visuals and stuff like that. Yeah.
Very nice.
Now, especially nowadays, one of the biggest things that's going on with videos is copyright problems with Hasbro and stuff like that.
Hooray!
Are you having different issues with Hasbro on your videos and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest problem I faced in January was that Hasbro. I made an Applebuck season video, and it was gonna because up until that point, all my videos were just footage from the show. And then I made this Applebuck season video, and I kept trying to upload it, and it kept getting immediately blocked in the U.S. every time I tried. So that was when I said, okay, I got to do this Nostalgia Critic or something, and just have me on screen.
Yeah, I saw that.
And put like a So I have 2 videos that are like that, and then I didn't like it because I had to be reading a script that was off screen, and so I'm never looking at the camera. And I had to cut to edit my voice, and so it skips in the video.
I was watching
weird.
that. I saw that. Yeah,
so it didn't feel right. So that's when I created. That's when I created an animated character to accompany me. And then
Come
I
with
can't
me,
draw
my friend.
ponies though, so I got somebody else to draw my pony.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But once I shrank the video, that was when I was able to start having my videos not get blocked in the U.S. anymore.
Okay. Because my channel, Muffin Limb Production, we had the same issue with our videos being taken down. It was the Let's Watch and Review My Little Pony. Basically, we sat down, me and the co-owner of the channel, we both co-own the channel. We sit down and watch an episode and just talk while it plays. That's about it. Those were taken down. So, but yeah, that was a big thing going on in the turn of the century. Still is, actually. No, wait, century? No, turn of the year. At the turn of the century. Wait a second. What are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now another question. Now I noticed that you don't do all the every single episode for your reviews. Is there a particular reason for that?
Kind of, but not really. Because I mean, obviously, the reason I haven't done every episode is because I'm still working my way through. I haven't been doing this for very long. But the organization is just kind of out there. Before I started doing video, I'd done about 9 episodes in not even that. Oh, the last one I did 7 episodes in text form before I switched to video. So what I was doing was when the 3rd season started, that was when I got inspired to start episodically blogging the show because I had wanted to for months, but I just thought nobody's reading my stuff. I don't care. Then the 3rd season started, and I wrote a review or I wrote a post about the Crystal Empire, and I got really excited, and I was like, cool, the new season's starting. I really want to do this. And then Too Many Pinkie Pies, I had a lot to say about. So I wrote a big post about Too Many Pinkie Pies, and I was like, this is super cool. I really love this post I've written about Too Many Pinkie Pies. And then I spent a week, and I was just writing a ton of posts about the episodes. So I covered I had already done covered the first 2 episodes like months before, and I covered 3 through 7 in text form. So I was actually going in order at that time. But then when I put out my first video, I just wanted to do the Too Many Pinkie Pies review in video form. So I did that because it was still the latest episode, you know. And the next episode came out, and it was One Bad Apple, and I don't think I made a video about that immediately, but then I did Magic Duel right when it came out, then I did One Bad Apple, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll move on, and then I did like the Crystal. So I was trying to do all the season 3 episodes that were out so far, and once I caught up with that, I thought, all right, let's go back and do season 1. But I didn't want to cover the first episodes because I had already written about them, and I thought I would have to redo my posts. And I remember the first one I did from season 1 was Ghostbusters because of Magic Duel, because it was like a sequel. So I wanted to talk about. It just made me want to talk about Ghostbusters. So I talked about Ghostbusters, and that kind of established that I was going out of order, that I wasn't going to do them all, from start to finish, because I had already done Ghostbusters. And then I thought, all right, I'll just do whatever season 1 episodes I feel like talking about. So I quickly went and did like all of Dave Polsky's episodes because he's really controversial. He did, Over a Barrel and Feeling Peaky Keen. So I like those episodes. Yeah, I like those episodes, and a lot of people hate those episodes. Those are like 2 of the least popular episodes of the show. So I was like, ooh, I really want to cover. Yeah, those episodes are pretty widely hated.
Jerks.
So I really wanted to talk about Dave Polsky's episodes because I liked those 2 episodes, and I love Too Many Pinkie Pies, which he did later. So, and then he was about to do the episode Keep Calm and Flutter On. That was also him, and it was leading up to that, and there was like a week-long gap between episodes. So I thought, ooh, I'll cover his episodes before then. So I had basically it was whatever I got inspired to do these old episodes, I would cover them. And then, once the season was over, I said, all right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do as many season 1 episodes as possible before I move on to season 2, and then I'll do season 2 completely in order. So that's why they're out of that's why the episodes are just random that I've been doing so far. But once I do start season 2, I'm going to just do it from start to finish.
And I can't. Did you mention something about your Ghostbusters video being taken down? Like that one? Yeah.
That's the only one that is not available in the U.S.
Right.
You can watch it if you're not in the U.S. But
excuse me while we go to Mexico.
I know that you said that you had some pretty strong feelings on that episode.
Yeah, I don't like.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm gonna do another video about it. So, because the thing is, my original video, the one that you can't watch in the U.S., it's negative, but I was kind of trying to play the angle of like I still like this episode even though it has a lot of problems, but then a lot of people in my comments on that video disagreed about it being bad. They liked it. They thought that my points weren't basically we were having disagreements about it, And there was this guy who reads there's one guy who comments on all of my posts because all of my videos I post them on my blog, and he comments on the blog posts, and he leaves these epic, beautiful, greatest comments in the history of the universe, and I love them, and it's like he validates my whole video's existence with his comments, right? So he was after watching the Ghostbusters video and seeing people's comments on it, he hates the episode. He was so mad that he wrote a 10-page thesis about why he hates this episode. Ooh. And after reading it, like, both me and him were so sick of the episode and talking about it and everything that we were just like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with Ghostbusters. It's horrible. I don't want to talk about it anymore, But then that video got blocked. So now it's like, oh, great. Now I have to revisit it. And, of course, now I'm even more disliking it, because now I've had time to find everything wrong with it, So when I do another video, it will be probably even more negative.
But you like Trixie. You like Trixie as a character, though, right?
Yes, I love Trixie, but I don't like the episode. She's not my problem.
She's not my problem with it.
Yeah.
So, what exactly goes into thoroughly analyzing?
I would think thorough analysis.
What do you mean exactly? What do you mean by what goes into it?
Well, like, when you say thoroughly analyzing, what are the aspects that you look at? What's the thing that you like? What's your process when you go through an episode and try to come up with these
My
laws and
process.
stuff like that?
The thing is, I don't really go into it like looking for something specifically. I just kind of watch it and just whatever jumps out at me, that's what I write down, because they're written very much like on the spot. A lot of my episodes, like the season 3 episodes, most of those, I got a video out like the next day after the episode was out, so I would watch it. I would be like, oh man, this suggests this to me, and then I'd watch it again, like confirm my thoughts, and I'd go, yeah, this is what I'm reading into the episode, and then I'd blog it. So, hold on. Jesus.
Lovely. Thank you for
Burp.
sharing.
Um,
Right. Moving on.
sorry, that was really I totally fried my brain with that burp. Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, like, I watch an episode, whatever jumps out at me, I then write down. And it's not a horribly complex process. The reason I call it thoroughly analyzing was just because with the Too Many Pinkie Pies episode, I felt like I was reading deeper into it than anything that was obvious, right? That was when I covered that episode, I was coming at it from an angle that I figured most people wouldn't most people wouldn't come at it from that angle, and I almost just called it analyzing Too Many Pinkie Pies, but I wanted it to have like a recognizable name, so it wouldn't just be any person analyzing it. So I called it thoroughly analyzing because I thought that would be more. It would really sell home this point that I'm gonna say a lot of shit about this episode. It's not just gonna be like me talking about what happened. It's gonna be like me talking about every possible thing that happened in this episode. So that's why I came up with that name. But then I kind of started phasing out that name because I don't really do that for every episode. Like with that episode, I talked about even the most like throwaway jokes. I brought up everything. That video was like 9.5 minutes long, and most of my videos since then have been much shorter and don't go quite as deep into every little detail.
Yeah.
So that's why I have videos called like utterly fanboying this or that, instead of thoroughly analyzing.
Yeah, thoroughly fanboying Applebuck season was one of them, and then you had generally analyzing, so a couple different ones.
Yeah. I think I had thoroughly reviewing for just for
Yes, you did.
sidekicks, and something games
Yep.
Tony's play.
Something games Tony's play.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That was an episode where it's just like, I didn't want to, like, I wasn't really analyzing it, I wasn't really reviewing it, I was just kind of going, this was an episode.
This is an episode. That is all.
That is
That
all.
is all. Make a song out of it. Probably is already one, anyways. Right. Wait, is it my turn now to ask him a question?
Yes, it's your turn now.
Why? I want to ask him a question. Okay, where are we at? We have like a little list of questions here. Shh, you don't know that.
Yeah, right
Right
here.
there?
This one.
Why? Why that one?
Yes, that one.
So how do you make your videos?
Because that one's important.
Besides with, like, simplicity.
First I write them, just in Google Docs. I write it down, and then I read it, and I edit it so that it sounds nice and cool. And then I get out Audacity, and I record it with this extremely nice mic I have. And then I put it into Sony
Ew.
Vegas, and I throw in all the facial expressions. Ew, Sony Vegas is the
I'm
best,
stuck
dude.
on Adobe and
That's
Avid
the
stuff,
best.
sorry. And Final Cut.
I can't use Adobe for what I do. It wouldn't work. Because you can't listen to the audio in After
Yes, you can.
Effects, you know what I mean?
Yes, you can.
Like when you're trying
You
to
can.
preview it. Don't you have to go into
no, you
preview
don't.
mode for that?
You do not. I'll probably talk to you after the thing. I haven't used After Effects in a while, but you can use it in After Effects. It's an actual feature.
Because when I tried to use it in After Effects, I need to be able to hear the lines as I'm
I
putting
get
in
what you're
clips,
saying, and
so I can
can't-
like say,
Yeah.
here's what I say, here's the facial
Yeah, I
expression,
did a lot of work in After Effects.
But it's just so...
if it's over on the far right. I don't remember what it's called right now. I have to look at it again. But
I also just, like, the user interface of After Effects is just a nightmare to me because, like, Sony Vegas, I have not watched any tutorials or anything. I just opened it and I knew exactly what to do. It was literally basically I just throw images in there. Like I don't have to import or anything. I just literally I open the program and then I take the audio file off my desktop and I just throw it into Vegas. And then I take the background, which is the single color background, and I throw that in. And then I throw in each Digibrony facial expression matched up with what I'm saying. And then I throw in the clips of the show matched with what I'm saying. So I don't even have to do anything special or know any techniques, you know. All I need to know is the S key cuts the clip, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
It's also different. I mean, Sony Vegas is built for consumers, whereas After Effects is more for professionals. It's the industry standard right now, I believe, for stuff like that. But once again, professional versus consumer. I'm stuck on professional stuff.
That or Final Cut.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm not putting any special effects.
Yeah, I mean, it's just simply.
You know, I don't really need all the After Effects.
Yeah, it's just simply a few layers, cuts with here and there with some audio and such like that. So
what's your favorite part of making your videos?
All right. Well, as I answered before, we had some technical difficulties.
It wasn't my fault.
Part is, I'm gonna give a shorter answer this time because I don't want to say it all again. Sorry, but my favorite part is the writing part of the process because that's where I'm really coming up with all the ideas and solidifying them. You know, I'm taking the sort of nebulous concepts that I've come up with and really turning them into a cohesive statement. And that part's fun. But the video editing is kind of the more, this is just what I have to do to get it on YouTube kind of part. You know, don't dislike it, but if I could do more with it, that would be nice. If I could like go full animation or do more things to make it interesting, that would be cool. The only reason I don't do those things is because I want to get out more videos because I have a short attention span.
I do.
I want to keep making more videos and getting them out. You know, it's kind of a quantity over quality thing, but I've got the quality high enough that I can get away with it. You know, where it's high enough quality that people will still be interested without being so high quality that it would be like greatest thing you've ever seen, you know. But if I did that, it would take me 6 months to make an episode instead of 3 hours.
I get what you're saying. I do personally prefer that quantity over quality thing. I have impatience. I just want to do stuff and get it done with, sort of thing too.
Right.
I'm like that with my fan fictions. I started one, started another while writing that one, started another while writing the one I was starting to write while writing another one. I'm at 6 fan fictions right now, or just fiction in general, actually. I do both. 6 where I'm just writing all of them at once now. I hate it, but I love it too. I write too much.
Yeah, that's pretty much why I've never finished a fanfic, because it takes too long. And
I know what you mean.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I've got 2 chapters of this fanfic, and I keep going back to it, and when I reread it, I'm like, I actually kind of like this. I wouldn't mind continuing it, but just the idea of going back to that when I've got other shit to do, you know. It's very rare for me to go back to something once I've stopped doing it, you know. So with that, it was like at the time I did the first 2 and I really wanted to continue, but there was just something else I wanted to do, and I ended up doing that instead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's horrible, yet you feel like it's fine at the same time. So it's that weird thing going on. Oh, so what made you start doing like observation on MLP? I think you touched a little bit on this, saying it's a thing a lot of people don't do all the time, sort of thing. Well, it's done, but I don't know. You do in a certain way.
Didn't we already talk about that?
Yeah, I think we did.
We talked about that before it messed up, right?
No,
maybe
that was after. That was while it was being.
That was while it was.
Was it?
That was while I died. So now that I'm back to life, we can. Well, yeah. I don't know. But over on the interview, you have touched a bit on the entirety of that question for the most part, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, just I do observations on MLP because it's stuff that it's largely stuff that I think will be important in my videos, where I want people to know about this thing as we go into the future videos.
Yes. Yes.
So you've shown some interest in some fanfics. You've also said you're not a very big fanfic reader, but you've done a review of University Days.
Yes.
Do you plan on doing any more of those?
Say no, I dare you.
Probably not.
Yes,
because,
I win.
Because I haven't read any more fanfics since then. And if I do them, they'll probably be on the Digibrony After Dark channel, because I opened it pretty much for stuff like that.
Yeah, I
like
saw that. I was
fanfics.
actually curious about the other channel, so
Yeah.
which you can knock out two birds with one stone. What is that channel about?
It's just about everything that's not like just analysis.
I see.
Like I opened it because the inspiration came from when I did my video on what's it called? Suited for Success.
Uh-huh.
The first half of the video is an analysis, and the second half is me singing Art of the Dress.
Dear
And
Lord.
there were a lot of people, like, it was really divided. It was like half the people were like, dude, you're a great singer. I'd love to see you sing more. And then the other half was like, never sing in a video again.
Yeah.
Put this somewhere else. I came here for analysis. I didn't want to hear singing. And I said, well, what if I opened a second channel where I would just do singing, or just do things that people would not expect out of the videos? And I also wanted a place where I could talk about weird, like, grimdark and stuff like that, or,
Okay.
obscure things. So I opened this other channel. The first video I put on there was me singing a fan song, and then the next video is about pony hypnosis, which is totally out there,
Yeah.
So this is stuff that I figured people who just want to read or just want to hear analysis of the show are not interested in this stuff. But people, some people who like my channel might be interested. So
Yeah.
I wanted to have another place for just anything. So that channel won't be, whereas the main channel is like just analysis, the other channel will be absolutely anything I can think of that I want to make a video out of.
Boat races, skiing.
Speaking of singing, I mean,
I'm an awesome singer.
especially with that
No.
live stream last night.
Yeah.
Where you just started taking,
Requests for
requests
like 45
from the
minutes.
fans, and you sang for like 45 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I've done in 2 live streams now. I actually, in the Metal Gear Rising live stream, there was probably an hour of singing total in the whole thing.
Very fun.
And that one, my voice was like perfect in that one, so I actually plan to release some of that singing as videos on Digibrony After Dark.
no,
Because I have all the clips from that.
was it like singing already known pony songs like from the show, or was it?
In the Metal Gear Rising one, I mostly sang songs from the show and a couple of fan songs here and there. That's why when people were requesting me My Little Pony songs, I kept saying, well, I just sang this in the last live stream.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't feel like singing them all again after just doing it like a few days ago in a live stream, and I knew it wouldn't live up to that because I did them really well in the Metal Gear Rising one, and I was like, my voice is haggard. Just give me anime songs that I can sing easily, Because
Yeah.
My Little Pony songs are hard.
Some of them are, yeah.
There's a few that are easy, but most of them are like the big ones, like Smile Song and Winter Wrap Up. Those are really difficult, especially when you have to change characters in the middle of the song and stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard,
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, even though I'm not an amazing singer, and I'm not trying to claim that I'm like doing some kind of brilliant performance or something, but I do hold myself to a certain standard where I don't really want to sing it if I'm not going to do it kind of well.
I see. So you do all this thing, but are you actually are you thinking about ever making any Brony songs of your own?
Yeah, I have one.
Oh.
The one on Digibrony After Dark.
Oh, that's right. I think I remember seeing that.
The Without Luna, which is a rap song based on it's Without Me by Eminem, but ponyfied into being about Luna.
Ponyfied.
That's cool. Yeah.
Fancy.
I actually came up with one today because there's a rap artist named Kendrick Lamar who I recently became a big fan of, like in the past week, and I've been trying to think of which song by him I could ponyfy. And it's really difficult because most of them are like the concepts of the songs are just too solid for me to like ponyfy them. But then there's one song by him called Compton, and I was like, what if I turned it to Clopton?
Oh,
And
dear
it's
Lord.
like this. It's the pony version of Compton, so it's just like this gangster ass pony city, and so I'd like to do that. But
Oh, dear.
I don't like I've written a lot of pony songs, but I can't perform music. So the only ones that I've actually like recorded is only when I have
Karaoke.
when I'm basing it on someone else's song.
Nice.
Like with Without Luna, obviously I didn't have to make the music because I was able to get the background track from Eminem's song and just rap over it.
Yeah.
So if I had to, I have a lot of songs that I would have to record the music and I can't perform, so that's why I haven't made them.
I see.
By the way, now, during your Q&A, you had your brother Victor with you there.
Yes.
And
Tell him I said hi.
I know that both of your brothers are bronies. Do you ever have any plans to include them in some of your videos?
The reason I haven't is because my videos are they're very much a me thing, where it's my analysis and my style, which I've honed over the past 6 years.
Mine.
Those guys, well, my brother Victor, he's not really much of an analytical thinker. He just kind of, he's like most people. He just watches the show. He likes it, He is, his reaction to my videos is the same as any of yours. It's like he hears it and it's like, oh, okay, now I have a deeper understanding of the episode, He's always heard all the shit I say, way before I make a video of it, because I never shut up, and so he's already heard me talk about this stuff. But, and he also is not really mind blown by it, because, again, he's heard me talk about this shit forever. So, yeah, he's used to hearing this stuff, but he doesn't really have that kind of analytical thought. What he's really good at is comedy, and
funny
the kind
man.
of videos that I actually want him to. We've been talking about how he should launch this, especially because me and him have been making YouTube videos for a long time on our old channel, which is again still around. We still make videos on there, just not as frequently. And we've done some good stuff in the past, but he's always thought that our stuff was mostly stupid, and he never took YouTube videos that seriously.
No one does.
But now that he's seen how successful I've been with it, and then now he's starting to think maybe we could do something with this, So what we really want him to do is he's great at doing just these angry rants about bad movies, and just the angle he comes at it, he's so good at it because he'll just rant uninterrupted, nonstop for 20 minutes. And basically reenact a movie while complaining about it.
I love doing. Oh, I've done that before. It's so much fun.
He was ranting. The inspiration for this came from he was ranting one time about Clash of the Titans because he thinks that's one of the worst movies
Which one, the
ever,
original
right?
or the new one?
And he was the
Okay,
newer
yeah,
one.
it's stupid.
And he was not the second one, but yeah, he just hated this movie, and he comes to me and he's just giving me this 20-minute rant, and he's just saying so then here comes Lucifer and his big gay cloud, and he's gotta fuck everything up, and the main character's like, oh, I'm a douchebag, blah blah blah, and then they start fighting. And that's how he goes, on and on.
Yeah.
And it's just a blast to watch. So I really want him to launch a channel like that, but he probably won't have anything to say about MLP in any depth. And then my youngest brother, Shade, he's too busy making out with his girlfriend all day, every day to have any interest in anything.
Yeah, improv is fun too. He should try some of that.
Yeah, almost everything we've done is improv, besides my videos.
I love improv.
Me and him together.
The funniest thing was watching the third Q&A.
Oh, when I was drunk.
Right, and Victor just when you left would just do random shit.
Yeah, he just starts playing with the mech and stuff. Yeah, that was great. Drawing ponies and stuff.
I can draw ponies. Right.
Yeah, he's great for stuff like that. It's funny because he has really low self-confidence in his ability to do stuff like that. So he won't ever be like, oh, let's go make a video. But once you've got him in a video, that's when he's good, So,
right.
So even, going into that video, he thought, oh, I'm going to be sucky, I'm going to be unentertaining. But then when the moment came for him to shine, he knows how to actually shine. That's what's great about having him in videos. That's why I like having him in the live streams. He's like, oh, I'm not going to add anything to the live stream. But then once we're in there, he's like the person talking, So it's like, yeah, I do need you in the live stream. You're great at it, Him and Brandon they talked constantly the whole time. There were actually parts where I had something to say and I was just quiet because they wouldn't shut up.
I'm like that too. Lightning knows that I'm someone who doesn't shut up sometimes.
Oh yeah. Well, and last night, God,
What?
the live stream, there was just some crazy stuff that went on.
All kinds of stuff.
I wasn't there.
You
I
were
was
there.
at school.
You were there for the part where my friend Brando calls and he had just been maced in the face.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. He just. Oh, that was such a weird phone call to get because we didn't know the whole story. We thought he had just been maced for no reason. And I know the guy. This is a guy who goes to to hardcore metal shows and stuff and just gets into fights. He goes to shows just to fight people. he's not old enough to drink, so he'll find drunk people and just like harass them and then get them to fight him, and he'll beat the fuck out of them. So when I heard he's been maced, I'm like, oh god, he started a fight, didn't he? But then of course I hear the story and it's like he told a girl to mace him. He was like, I want to see what it feels like. So she maced him in the face. It's fucking dumbass.
I want to know what it's like. Here, makes me like that.
Oh wow!
I imagine it was something like that.
Makes sense.
Because he said mace me and she maced his arms, and then he said quote don't be a pussy, mace my face. And so she sprayed him in the face, and then it was burning his eyes, and he tried to wipe his eyes, but his arms were covered in mace, so he got even more of it in his eyes.
Stupidity goes on all levels.
I'm sure he enjoyed it, though. I'm sure he's going to come over and be like, yeah, it sucked, but, like, at least I got to do it. That's the kind of guy he is.
So, we've talked about it a little bit, and you've gone over both of them. Tell us a little bit about what your live stream is and what your Tumblr is.
Which Tumblr? The main Tumblr?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, my Tumblr is just, I've been running it for... probably 4 years now, as long as Tumblr's been a big deal. Originally on because my Tumblr, I've been posting there for, I just said that. I've posted there for a long time, but it's all kinds of stuff. So, I've run this anime blog, and I've had a Twitter for like 6 years, and basically Tumblr is in the middle. It's like, I knew, because even when I was running an anime blog, there were a lot of people who were more interested in me myself than really me talking about anime. That's kind of the inspiration behind the live stream too, is that a lot of people just really like me as a person, as evidenced by the Q&A, where people were willing to watch even parts where I wasn't talking about MLP, where I was just talking about myself, and those still had a lot of people who watched them and just were entertained by me as a person. And the reason for that is because my style of writing is that it's a gonzo journalism style, where I'm really talking a lot about myself in my videos. Even when I'm talking about MLP, I don't try, because a lot of people who do reviews, they try to be quote-unquote objective, where they try to look at it and divorce as much of their own opinion from it as possible.
Fun in that?
But that's not actually possible. When you watch something, you always bring all of your bias to the table.
Yeah.
When you watch a video, when you watch a show, then who you are is always going to affect what you're seeing.
Exactly.
How you interpret each character is dramatically affected by your own worldview. It's kind of like how some people watch Rarity and they see her as this ungenerous bitch, and some people watch her and they think she's amazing and she's super generous. And it really depends on it's really about what kind of person you are. So is how you're going to see Rarity. So yeah, you always are bringing your own prejudices, and I extremely embrace that. I say, this is me, this is what I thought based on my own prejudices, So it's something like Alicorn Princess Twilight Sparkle. That's why I loved making that video so much, because I bring into that video, it's not in any way trying to be objective. It's not me saying, this is what the show was trying to tell you. It's me saying, this is what I saw. This is what I watched. If you're wondering why I like Alicorn Princess Twilight so much, this is why. And that resonated with people, other people who felt the same way, or who were interested in the way I saw it, they really enjoyed that video. And so that's probably always going to be my best video, because I love that video so much. It was perfectly emblematic of what I try to do, like what I'm setting out to accomplish is basically that. So yeah, when it came to my Tumblr, then it was from a time when I was anime blogging, and originally on my blog I also had like personal posts, but I thought this feels tacky to talk about the stuff in a place that's mostly an anime blog. So when Tumblr came around, it was a great way to have a personal blog, like a side blog, where I could just make like mid-sized posts. I could talk about whatever I want. I could talk about music. I could talk about this and that, and didn't have to talk about anime. So that's mostly what that Tumblr has always been. I post a lot of prose on there. Because I don't really write fiction, but I write nonfiction in a way that most people would write fiction, if that makes sense. Like I write nonfiction in a prose way. Where,
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know who else gets it though.
Yeah.
I get it though.
So when you read it, you're reading something that is true, but it's written like a story. That's the best way I can explain that.
Yeah.
And I often like to basically combine that with fiction. So some of the stuff will be like half fiction, half reality, some kind of mixture in between. And I write a lot of stuff like that and post it on Tumblr. Right now, my Tumblr's not been very active. I've just kind of been posting random stuff. I've done a few just sound bites and stuff like that on there where, like the other day I did me singing the Aaron's Penis song from Game Grumps in Fluttershy's voice, and that was weird as hell. So yeah, it's like all kinds of random stuff on my Tumblr. And then of course I now have the Digibrony fan art Tumblr as well, and that's awesome. Little known fact, I actually have like 8 Tumblrs and like 40 WordPress accounts, but most of them are inactive. But I really love both Tumblr and WordPress for just like every time I have a new idea, I make a site for it, you know, and then that site either sinks or swims. Most of them sink. But
I see.
Yeah, I have a lot of extra Tumblrs that all have like 10 to 20 posts on
Just
them
in case for backup.
And a lot of them I don't consider to be truly dead because there's always this feeling like I could come back and do something like this again. Like I have one Tumblr that's called I Will Review Everything I Eat, and it's just me talking about just random food that I ate but telling it like a story. And then there's Tales from the 7-Eleven, which is all horror fiction based on 7-Eleven restaurants. So
Fancy.
Yeah, there's like a lot of weird Tumblrs I have.
Very nice.
And then the live stream, like I just said,
It's for fun.
is based on that same concept of some people just like me. They like the My Little Pony stuff, but they also just a lot of people really love my voice.
Everyone falls in love with your voice.
Times. Yeah, a lot of people like my voice, and I like to be able to just communicate with people who watch my videos and have fun. And it's also a great way for me to get video games played because I'm trying to get back into playing video games, but it's so hard for me to sit down and play a game for a long period of time where I really get into it. Because most of the times when I try to play video games, I'll play for like an hour, and then I'll go do something else. So with the live stream, because I know that there's people who are watching it and they want me to keep going, I can go for these insane 8-hour stretches like I have been.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, it's really helping me to get through some of my gaming library.
I see. Yeah.
And now currently, you might be doing a video on this later in the future. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm 2% sure.
What your plans are. But I was wondering what your opinion was on Equestria Girls and where that's going.
I enjoyed the song.
I don't have one. I'm just gonna wait for it to come out, and I'll definitely watch it just because it's associated with MLP. You know, if it's bad, it's bad. If I watch because I don't watch stuff I don't like. I'm the kind of guy who, you know, when a new anime season comes out, I watch the first episode of everything, and then I only continue like 2 shows. You know, so if it sucks, I'll just go, oh, that sucks. I don't have to think about it ever again. You know, and I'll just forget it ever existed. But if it's good, I'll be like, oh, well, this is good, and then I might either talk about it or maybe I won't if I don't really have anything to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still questioning if it even actually is a thing because it's really not clear to me. Like, even though there's been a few promos and stuff, the hub has not made any commercials. They have not announced that they are going to air it officially. There's been no like real
Hasbro's trying to scare us away.
Here's when it's coming out. Here it is. You know, there's been none of that. So
Yeah.
I still don't really trust that it's actually happening. Apparently, Hasbro released a lineup of like all the shows they plan to air from like the next year, and it wasn't in that lineup. So as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't actually exist until it exists.
So there you go. So are you actually planning on going to any conventions this year, out of curiosity?
Oh, I will be at BronyCon, and I should be running a panel there.
Fancy.
The reason I say should be is because I got it approved, but BronyCon has said that they're still like working on the schedules and like which panels are or aren't going to be there. But it's interesting because I actually got the panel approved before my channel got popular or anything. I was already planning to do a thoroughly analyzing MLP
People
panel
just go,
there.
wait, what is this?
And then after, yeah, it just happened that my channel got super popular.
Yeah.
So now I'm like really excited about doing it because it'll be like, oh snap! Now I'm gonna meet all these people who have heard of me
Hooray!
and stuff, you know. And so, but yeah, I'm gonna be co-running that with Brony Curious. Actually,
Curious.
I got him in on it.
Yeah, with any luck, I'll see you there because I'm supposed to be
I'm
going
too
to
far
BronyCon
away.
Year, so. Yeah, you're too far away.
I still like California though. It's
Where are you
lovely.
Oh, California.
It's about as far away as you can get from
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
Baltimore.
you can be in Southern California. That's much further, or San Francisco. I'm in neither.
Yeah.
NorCal, just below
But
Sacramento.
yeah, if you go to BronyCon, you should definitely keep a lookout for me. I'll be very easy to spot because I'm going to be cosplaying as Digibrony.
Oh dear lord.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm going to be in
And I'll
Fiesta
be-
Equestria, so hopefully.
Yeah. So, you just mentioned about how big your channel's become, and I'm just looking at it right now. 19,087 subscribers.
Yep. Just hit
Um,
19,000 in the past hour, I think.
What are your thoughts on this? On just how much it's exploded?
I'm really amazed by it because I have not seen any precedent for it. I have not heard of any channel that blew up. Ooh, excuse me.
That blew up well.
At the same speed that mine has. I even got like when I was around 9,000 a couple weeks ago, or really just a week and a half ago. Ooh, sorry, I keep burping.
Mm-hmm.
I got a message from Paleo, who was still a little bit above me, and he was like, "What did you do to get so popular?" Because me and Saberspark have been discussing it. We've never seen this happen before, and I was just like, "I don't know."
I
You know?
don't know.
Like when it was first taking off, it got up to like 3,000, and at the time I wrote a thing, like a document explaining all the reasons I thought it was getting successful. And I shared that with Brony Curious and A&Y Pony, and I was like, here's everything I know that I've brought to the table here. Because, you know, I have brought a lot of stuff. I have a lot of knowledge about how to be successful on the internet that I've brought to the table. But the videos have gone beyond that simple knowledge, where it's at a point now that it's growing so fast that I'm going, what the hell is happening? You know, because where are these people finding my videos? Because that's the weird thing, is that no one's sharing. There's like a couple of them have gotten on EQD and nightly roundups, and that's it. You know, there's no like big person advertising my channel or anything. That's why it's weird that it wouldn't be weird that I was getting found. It's only weird that I'm getting found so often, you know, with so little advertising.
Actually,
so I don't know quite why.
yeah, it kind of reminds me of Milo Dashi. I'm sure you heard of that fanfic. How it exploded because the writer, Lightning and I know him, Rob Kakeran. He uploaded it one night. He just wrote it on a whim, basically. Uploaded it one night, slept, woke up next morning, thought it was a stupid idea, took it down, went to work, came back home. He had 40 emails saying, why did you take down a story, essentially. Uploaded it back up. The next day, he had like 400 emails on the story, so.
Wow.
It's kind of one of those things where it's spread by sharing. Friends say, oh, go check this guy out, or something like that. It's probably more of what it is.
I mean, that's what's really exciting about it, is that I can honestly say that it's mostly the quality of my videos that has made it so successful. You know, it's just genuinely people really like them, and that's why they subscribe. You know, and it's amazing to be able to say that, because of course it inflates my ego beyond belief. I'm just sitting here going, yeah, my videos are successful because they're good. You know, because you know, again, there are things I brought to the table that I understood about videos. First of all, I won't make a video that isn't something I would watch myself. You know. And I have kind of high standards for these things. So that's why I didn't make videos until I had a nice mic, until I had the ability, until I had Sony Vegas to edit them with, you know, until I had all this equipment, because I won't watch somebody's video if it's poorly edited and stuff, you know, if it's just badly done. I wanted my videos to look nice, to sound nice, and to make my points concisely and just be dense and good and interesting, and people would want to watch them, you know. And then I made a whole hell of a lot of videos in a very short time, and that helps a lot too, because you know, people notice that speed, and they notice how many videos I have, and that's why they subscribe, because they realize that there's this consistency of quality and amount of videos, you know.
Yeah. Because you've only been,
you've
only been up for like what, 6 months? Not even.
Not
even 6 months.
I started in November, so it says I think it says my account was created on November 28th, so like the end of November.
So just around December. I'm getting echo from some reason. I think it's from Lightning. getting echo for. I'm not sure who it's from though. Might be from you, Digibrony, but I don't know.
It's probably from.
Yeah, do you have headphones?
It's probably from me. I've been just talking into the mic with
I
speakers
see.
the
That's
whole time.
probably why.
I'm moving the mic away from.
Just move on.
Do you still
Yeah.
have it?
Yes. Yeah.
Here, I'll turn it down.
So just mute us essentially. Yeah, it's a lot quieter.
How about
It's a
now?
lot quieter now. So that
All right.
helps. But yeah, YouTube says you're lucky to get.
'Cause I haven't heard it.
What are you saying?
I haven't heard the echo coming through your speakers at all, so I didn't.
Well, yeah, I
notice.
have a headset on, so. And Lightning is sleeping right now, so you can't really hear him at all.
Not sleeping. That's just
He's
not true.
sleep talking. How cute. Now, yeah, with YouTube actually, they say you're lucky to get like 100 subscribers within the first, I think, 3 to 6 months of your channel. Yeah, and overall, you've just exploded with your channel like that. So.
Yeah. I mean, I did some things to promote it. I
bribed
share all
people,
of my
I
videos
threatened
on
people, stuff like that.
Nah, like I mostly used Reddit early on, and that was how I got the first sort of surge. Was I kept posting my videos on Reddit, and even though they didn't do super well on Reddit, it was enough. You know, the fact that they were even there was enough to get them some people looking at them, and then those people, as I went along, started telling other people. You know, and then the first one that I got featured on Equestria Daily was the first observations on MLP video, and they put that in the nightly roundup. And you know, those ones were both of the observations videos were successful both from EQD and on Reddit, so that helped a lot. And then from then on, it's mostly been, according to YouTube analytics, it's mostly been from my videos appearing in the related videos.
Yeah, that always
videos.
helps too.
So like, yeah, like in a given week, there'll be like all these videos that come out, and then mine will be in the related of all the ones that came out at the same time. So like some huge big video that comes out that week, if mine's in the related videos, that'll help a lot.
Yeah, it does.
People will see that and click through. And it also helps that I kept getting my videos out on new episodes right after the episodes came out. I had my reviews out within a day or two at the most. So people would actually find my videos while searching for the new episode
because you have it in
to
the
watch
title.
it, and they'd come across mine. So yeah, it was extreme. Early on, that was one of the biggest boosts, was just that I was releasing them so fast, and nobody else was. That's why nobody else got that benefit except for me. And you know, that was a huge part.
Yeah, it really does have to do that. The related videos helps a lot, because with my channel, Muffin Productions, the co-owned one I mentioned earlier, which self-promotion right here. No, but it's the related videos, because we did a Ponymon Let's Play, me and the other owner. We do split-screen Pony Let's Plays of games. Ponymon was a bigger thing when it first came out, and we got noticed because it was related to a bigger Ponymon Let's Play, and Patapony, for some reason, when that was on Equestria Daily. I don't know why, but so we got some related views from Equestria Daily, which was interesting too.
Yeah, related videos and suggested videos. Those are YouTube overwhelmingly says that's where most of my views come from.
That's where a lot of them come from most things. Let's see. Over that. So do you have any future like projects, or are they all like secret?
There's nothing secret. It's just a matter of like, because I have a shitload of ideas, but it's a matter of when is it going to become solid and be something that I am working on.
All right, so that is the end of our interview with Digibrony.
We feel sorry for each and every one of you. Okay, I do. Sorry, that's my channel slogan. Moving on.
So I guess we can move on into some of the news that we get going on.
Recent things, hooray!
Recent things. We have a lot of recent things.
Fan-made episode coming out in a few days, unless you're watching this in the future.
Yeah, actually, that's about a week away now.
I thought it came out the 24th. Oh no, end of the month. That's right.
No, 30th.
Yeah, 30th. I don't know what I'm thinking. 20th.
So it's another 8 days away.
Why am I thinking 24th? Oh, I have a dentist appointment the 25th. Anyways, sorry.
So, on a more recent note, happy winter wrap-up for all you guys out there that live in a little bit warmer climates than I do. It still looks like winter here, but...
it always looks like over there.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
It's nice in the summer.
What, 40 degrees?
No.
Okay, sorry,
no.
50.
it can get really hot here.
Oh,
Just
sure.
not until August.
For 1 week of the year.
Anyway,
There's only 600,000 of you up there. Move! And then we could just build giant wall around North Dakota and make it a state prison. Genius.
it's not what they did with Australia, and now everyone wants to go there.
Because they're Australians. I mean, come on. They have Sydney. Is a person and a city. Either way, they also have turtles and the Great Barrier Reef. North Dakota has nothing, therefore no one's going to want to visit North Dakota.
We have
You have nothing!
corn.
Corn? That's Kansas! If you want to go see corn, go to Kansas.
Wait, hold on. We have oil. We have oil.
California has oil. Texas has oil. New Mexico has oil.
Yeah, we have a lot more oil than anyone else, though.
What?
Yes, we are now the number one producer of oil in the country.
I do not believe that. I'll have to
true.
look that up later. People can comment down below. Moving on, back to pony-related things.
Right, pony-related things. Lots of convention news has recently come out. First of all, for TrotCon, they've announced Lee Tokar and Heather Breck.
We have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure who Heather Breckel is. Everyone knows who Lee Tokar is.
He's so fabulous.
By the way, I would not be surprised if we see Stephen Magnet come back
That'd
in
be
season
amazing.
4.
I mean, I was actually for my friend's birthday, my friend Jill, I bought her pony cards. I bought her the Pinkie Pie box, which is kind of a ripoff for $8. You get one packet of cards, which is stupid. Anyways, but the box was nice. We went through the cards. She got Stephen Magnet, and as she turned over, the description of the character said, "The most fabulous creature in all of the Everfree Forest." I found that humorous.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Dun, dun, dun. That isn't.
You know, Lee Tokar is really cool, and obviously he would absolutely love to do that voice again. I can't see a reason why they wouldn't. I mean,
typical.
you know, they might not,
people,
but
like
I mean,
they did Derpy.
Right? Yeah, that'll happen.
It choked on spit. That is an ugly Volkswagen.
Anyway, we've also got a whole another list of different convention news. The Brony Beach Minicon has been announced. Let's see here. It looks like it's going to be held in
Some coastal city, I'm certain.
Virginia Beach.
Where's that?
Virginia.
Just making sure.
Yes, it's the 12th and 13th of
sometime eventually. July, silly. July.
Yeah, it's actually being held at the Myra E. Oberndorf Central Library.
That's a very long name for a library.
Well, yeah, and it's not exactly an easy name to say either. I was kind of looking at it like
Oberndorf? Oberndorf.
Oh, an Obern.
Obern. Oh, I thought it was an M.
Yeah, it's Oberndorf. Oberndorf. It's like
it sounds like a Harry Potter type of name. Even the first name, you got Myra. Myra. Yeah. Oberndorf. Yeah. Gryffindor. Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like. All right.
Moving on.
Anyway.
AppaloosaCon has now been postponed. I'm not exactly sure when. Okay, it was originally in April. It was supposed to be just this next month.
And then it's been moved, I assume, to the summer, which is when everyone's available.
October. They wanted it in October. I'm not sure when. I don't think they have a date, but they want to move it all the way to October. And it says that they are automatically upgrading people to supporter passes, which entitles them to a VIP status at the new date.
Intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, so apparently they were asked by the community. There was like over 500 requests from fans stating that they wanted the convention to be moved, and apparently this has something to do with the events surrounding the Las Pegasus convention. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, though. I mean, unless they're also going to be around the Las Vegas area, but I'm not sure
I don't know
where
either.
Appaloosa was supposed to take place.
No pony
I'm sure
knows.
someone knows. I just can't remember.
Billy? Right. What else is there in here? Big Apple PonyCon.
Yeah, what's this Twilight Sparkle Crystal Heart spell?
Um, is it based on the Gryffindor stuff?
I seriously doubt it.
All right then. Um,
It's in obviously this one is the one in New York, and it says that the VIP reception on Saturday night will be receiving advanced copies of My Little Pony Twilight Sparkle and the Crystal Heart spell, which is the first book in GM Barrow's upcoming series. Is there
intriguing.
is there a
Release for April 2nd, it says right here. Twilight Sparkle and the Crystal Heart Spell is slated for release on April 2nd.
is it a book?
Yes. I'll
Like,
go over it. I'll go over it. A Brooklyn native, Barrow's childhood aspiration was to become either a princess or a pony. While she isn't quite there yet, her work on the upcoming series of My Little Pony chapter books is certainly on par. The first of the series, My Little Pony, and we went over that.
right, yeah. So
Um,
Twilight Sparkle and the Crystal Heart spell slated for release on April 2nd. I wonder how much it is.
Good question. I wonder how much a job is right now so I can afford that. I'll find that out tomorrow or some other time, probably. But yeah, so Big Apple PonyCon, I'm too far away to have concern for that, but they actually have a little animated promoted thingy.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting because the animation's actually pretty good.
This is not American, I believe, so it's not in
It's
English,
it's
right?
in Salt Lake City is where it's going to be. Um,
Oh yeah, I'm watching it right now.
yeah, I'm watching it as well, but it's
It's 2 minutes.
pretty funny.
The
I don't know
animation
who
is
I
actually
don't
pretty
know.
well done.
Okay, I don't know who this person is, like, but she's got a good voice for Rainbow Dash. If she ever did any other kind of voice
She
acting,
does.
it's interesting.
The animation is very well done, but we should move on because I don't want to waste 2 minutes.
Right, yeah, it's a pretty long one, so definitely
You can
look
find
at
the
that if
link in
you're
the
interested.
description if you have nothing better to do. Let's see. Speaking of animations, actually, Snowdrop, something that's been a lot of people have been looking forward to for actually a long time. I remember a promo coming out a long time ago involving a little crystal bluish-like filly. I'm like, what is this?
Guys, Snowdrop is absolutely amazing. I actually did an interview. God, I can't even remember exactly when it was when I did the interview with Philly Studios,
A
but
long time ago.
they actually talked about it in that interview, and I remember thinking, oh, I really want to see this animation.
Yeah, the
Uh,
animation was well done. The story, it wasn't one of those big plot MLP feeling stories. It was like a little tale, basically, is all it was. A little short little tale, kind of like Little Red Riding Hood or something like that.
Yeah, okay, this was September 28th of last year.
Yeah, that's when I saw it. That is the
Is-
day before my birthday.
September 28th is when I did my interview with Silly Philly Studios, and they talked
You
about
interviewed them the
Snowdrop.
day before my birthday?
Apparently,
You're so thoughtful. But the animation's well done. But once again, it's not very plot heavy or story heavy. It's just a little lighthearted, touching story.
well,
Um,
it's kind of sad, but
yeah, but
at the same
but
time-
it's not plot heavy. It's just an in the moment kind of story. It's not very plot heavy overall, but it's endearing and I enjoyed it.
it was really good.
Yes.
Of course, they did the whole thing over on Brony State, and they did an interview, like a half-hour interview with the people from Silly Philly Studios. They showed it, and then they showed it again while there was commentary going on. And I mean, apparently this has been a big deal because one of the people that was working on it actually like started to cry while it was going on because she was just, seeing this project that she's been working on finally get finished, and
Yep.
yeah, it was a big deal, and
Yeah.
so
It was a touching little story. So go check that out if you haven't. You got a lot of Draw Friend stuff coming out, of course. Any other? Well,
By
besides,
the way,
yeah.
I didn't want to mention this.
Ashley Bell's birthday.
This Tumblr here. Ask Little Brayburn.
I haven't read any of it.
I haven't read any of it either, but Little Brayburn, the pony, is just kind of an interesting character.
I like the way it looks.
Yeah, it looks really good, actually.
Interesting style to it. So let's go ahead.
But yes, I think it's really
Ah,
cool.
my eyes! Sorry, I opened the Tumblr page. It's bright orange.
I didn't know that Ashley Ball and Maddie Peters were around the same birthday, which really works well when you think about Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo as as the characters, in the show. So they have a whole bunch of Rainbow Dash Scootaloo pictures in Draw Friend, which is really cool.
Yes, it is.
I love pictures.
They're
like
awesome. Especially because it was Ashley Ball's birthday.
Yeah, apparently their birthdays are a day apart. Maddie's is on the 30th, and Ashley's is on the 31st. Happy birthday to those two.
I don't think they're going to watch this.
Oh, they don't have to. I'm still going to wish them happy birthday.
It's the thought that they are. Shut up. Oh, okay.
And, apparently John Delancey's birthday was yesterday, so that would make it the 21st.
Yep.
And so, happy birthday to John Delancey as well.
He's not going to watch this as well, but we don't care. So, got a few more simple little animations coming out there. Enjoyable. You can find them easily on Equestria Daily. More Disney PMVs. A lot of those coming out. I've seen a few.
For those of you that are a fan of BioShock,
yes, this.
There was a video that came out about the creative director of BioShock, Ken Levine, or Levine, however you say his last name. Is actually a brony as well. He likes the show, and
what a
has
loser.
Actually built up a compilation of a whole bunch of BioShock crossover pony fanfictions, and
he's reading them.
Just threw together a cool little video with a small animation in it.
I go watch that.
It was pretty interesting.
Never played BioShock, but that's not going to stop me from watching this. Right. Anyways, is there anything else in the news that's relevant, important, besides I think we cover the main things of the animations coming out?
Oh yeah, well there's a bunch of other stuff that came out regarding the Japanese version.
Yeah,
of the
but
show.
also I was going to mention the first arc of the comic series is done.
Right.
I have read the entire comic series. I love it to death.
Right. The first arc is now done. I think you mentioned that already, and what we're going to do is that you mentioned that you had already read the entire first arc. I haven't seen any of it yet, but I really want to. So I think this weekend I'm going to go ahead and buy at least the main series, the first arc of the main series, and read that, and then we'll do like a review of it, or like some kind of special episode where we just talk about the comics and analyze it and stuff like that.
I can say it was well done, and I love the comedy. The art style is amazing. It is much darker than the show, which is a bit surprising, but
well, they're allowed to do that if it's a comic.
It's true. Plus, comics can kind of get a bit more story out than an episode of something, because they just write the words on the page for you, where there's often more dialogue in the text than there is actual talking and recording. So,
yeah.
But well done. I loved it. I really look forward to the next one coming out in April. That's the start of the next arc. And yes, there's a lot of stories coming out. Is there any highlights of any stories that came out recently?
I
Okay.
haven't seen anything. No,
Oh, the My Little Web Surfers Part 4 is out. I love that thing. I forgot about that. That was a big comic thing going on.
I haven't. I haven't
What?
heard about that either.
It's a really good comic. It's about the internet ponies. Literally, the ponies that are like Google and Firefox.
Oh wait, no, you're right. I
I was
have
gonna
seen
say-
that. That's right. That was
Yeah,
that was pretty
they
good.
released Part 4 recently. Let's see, what else is new? Comics, videos.
Well, there's DHX.
I thought we mentioned they were hiring.
They're hiring now.
Okay,
no,
then.
not
They're
yet.
hiring. If you're like an animation
Yes.
person.
There's a lot of positions that are open. They got animation revisionists, animation supervisors, key animation and posing supervisor, storyboard artist, storyboard revisionist, character rotation artist, key animation posing artists, background builders, and layout supervisors. And I mean, it
Yeah.
says that you're not necessarily going to be working on My Little Pony if you get these positions. Because they work on more than just
Yeah.
that, obviously. So, but I mean, it'd still be cool if you were a, amateur, you know, yeah, if you're an amateur storyboardist or artist or whatever, and you do stuff for the fandom, it'd be cool to get a job in this
Sure, Jan Animation
in this
get
company.
in there.
I bet he could.
I'm gonna go for a storyboard artist because I clearly am one. Well, actually, I
Right.
do storyboards, but anyways, no, I'm not gonna go work. Psh. I'm not gonna go get a job for another week. Anyway, is that about? Let's see. Anything else in the fan base? Just more stuff.
Well, we got the Japanese.
Oh yes, the Japanese end
version
of
of the show. They've got the they have an ending song that they're gonna add, which is apparently just a regular song. It says it's been out on YouTube for a couple of days. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce it because
Oh, I love
it's in
Japanese. Where's it at? I
Japanese.
forgot where it was at. I'm gonna go find it.
But
I love pronouncing words.
But yeah, it actually. I mean, I'm interested to see what Japan does with this because they tend to do some interesting stuff with animation.
Okay, my poor PC. There's not enough space to update for updating. Oh well. Anyways, let's see.
And then the only other thing that I really see that we could talk about is the new things that are coming out of the main
Ooh,
six.
Oh yes.
Um,
They have new characters.
company.
Hooray!
They have
Which is-
concepts now that Lauren Faust is working
Which
with
is
them.
kind of awesome.
Um,
The top comment: Who's
Yeah.
that Pokemon?
but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
now they have Lauren Faust working with them, and also they're using the Skullgirls engine as well.
This shall be
So,
interesting.
It's kind of interesting to see exactly where they're going with it. I'm not sure. It looks like they're still
I don't know.
hooved,
Okay, really?
but I'm not sure.
Either way, we look for the progress. I think it's the whole thing because it's
One of them looks like a
yeah,
llama.
one looks like a llama. Another looks like a Pokemon. Quite honestly, the far right one, and then you got the middle one who looks like me when I'm awesome.
Yes, it's interesting because it looks like they're still hooved, but I guess we'll have to see what is coming up with that later on. But other than that, I don't really see too much else that has changed. So we'll end this off right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And make sure you listen to us next week. We'll have our interview with Soundspeed.
Yep.
And until then,
Go get a life. I'm joking.
Well,
Don't go get a life. You need to keep watching this. So,
we'll see you next time.
adios.
Hey, hey, hey. tell y'all about coming in my shed. Take it away, fellas.